What's good, my YouTube people? Welcome back to my channel at Bridge Breaker. Today we're back with another video. I know it's been like maybe some weeks without uploading another story. So today I'm uploading a story what's called chapter 3 of Can You Mend My Broken Heart, called Coffee Again. Okay, so let's begin. Raymond stared in her direction for quite some time, but then again started arranging his papers. He could still smell her presence. No, it was perfume, but something small, like soft like baby powder. Something about her oddly intrigued him. A bit of coffee had spilled on his hands and had scalded him a bit, but he didn't even realize that until she was gone. His jacket was taken all the heat. It was only a few moments that he realized and took the jacket off and put it in his suitcase. Damn, these papers are gone, he muttered to himself upon seeing the big brown blotch marks all over. Anyway, as this contract has already gone to for as this contract had already gone for a toss, so he didn't care much. He dumped the whole stack of paper into the nearest dustbin without even blinking twice. So you can see Raymond is careless. That's how Raymond worked. No second approaches, no second chances, and no second thoughts. So like he's yeye ni ule mtu wa kugive up haraka. He was a man who was always singular in his thoughts, and his brain was like a directed laser beam. He was a self-made man and an entrepreneur who had been academically brilliant throughout his life, the sort of guy which every girl dreamt of. Passionate, athletic, and charismatic all at once. From his gait itself, one could tell that he worked out. He was blessed with a well-built body, and he blessed it by working out. His demeanor and style always oozed confidence. But today he seemed a bit lost. His spirit seemed dampened. He started working towards the nearest information panel to check his gate number. But as he reached there, his eyes were fixed on his airline, and he read China Southern Airlines flight to JFK delayed. New boarding time 3:30 a.m. You got to be kidding me, he groaned under his breath. Now that he could do was to curse his fate. Nothing was working for him today. It seemed to him that Lady Luck had permanently taken offense from him. So he decided to take back to the resting area and do some productive thinking. And only like a response to stimuli, he turned around, his eyes searching for his coffee assassin. But he got nothing. So he walked ahead, and upon reaching the resting area, he took his laptop and started setting out a new design model. He decided to give his existing game some twist by creating new avatars and levels. So, chapter 2, we learned about a gaming company, and on that Raymond was the head of the gaming company. Unadhani nimesahau kidogo juu ya shule. Anyways, he started drafting his ideas to capture a whole new demographic. He was super swift and creative in his work, and within 80 minutes, a new gender was ready. Running his fingers on the keyboard, he immediately emailed it to his folks in New York and started scheduling meetings for next week to discuss further with the design and graphics board. He knew the new plan schedule was tight, but there was no other way. Around. He had to prove his mettle in the world where there were people ready to pull him down the moment they could. Raymond knew the meaning of pushing off the contract signing date. He knew it was not going to happen, not when he knew who was behind all this scheming. He knew he knew why someone didn't want him to win. So you can say he's do you say foreshadowing? Okay, we can say his character trait is cautious. He knew why someone didn't want him to win, but he was not going to let him get what they wanted. He knew he had to perform better and aggressive measures to get a financial backup. So you can say he's hardworking. He was not going to let some third party extinguish the fire of creativity in him. He knew he needed a plan B, and his new project was exactly what he needed. Now that Raymond had some time left before boarding his flight, he decided to go to Starbucks to have another cup of coffee. For the previous one, fate was a downhill. Standing in the queue where he casually looked towards his left, he saw the same distressed girl coming out of the washroom. She looked a bit composed than before, but her eyes were stark red. Looking at the way she was nervously tugging at her bag, it looked like something terrible had happened to her. She went near the information panel, and his eyes followed her as she started looking at the screen. She was staring at it non-stop, totally unfazed and aware of what was happening around her. Your order, please, sir. Your order, please. The Starbucks person asked him twice to get his attention, which was clearly focused somewhere else. Raymond was startled at first, and then he shook his head. I'm sorry, I just spaced out. What's wrong with me? He muttered under his breath. Triple venti soy, no foam latte, Raymond said, and took out his card to swipe. He picked up some extra pieces of tissues with him, and why? Even he didn't know. So he's distracted. Holding his coffee, he turned to see if she was still there near the information panel, but to his utter dismay, there was no trace of her. He sighed without having any clue what fate had in store for him. She had definitely captured a figment of his attention, but it seemed like it was ephemeral, as she was lost now in a crowd of millions. The probability of seeing her again was like 0.000001%, but somehow his wishful thinking caught on to that 0.000001%. Without any second thoughts, he started walking towards his gate. It was almost time to board. So I think this was actually a bad day for Raymond, and it actually started whereby his coffee spilled, isn't it? Yeah. Three things that made his day bad was his coffee was spilled, that his flight was being delayed, and thirdly, it's like someone is trying to steal the idea of his new game, isn't it? Yeah. And also we find there is, let me see, I saw something like personification. Oh yeah, and also before that, you also see that she sees a woman. I think she sees a certain woman. Yeah. So I don't know who this woman is, but anyways. So thank you so much, guys. This is chapter 3 called Coffee Again. If again you wanted to order another coffee because the other one was spilled, maybe he was distracted, that someone maybe tries to overtake him. Who knows? So anyways, thank you guys for that, for cooperation for that video. Yeah, see you in another next.